Hi everyone, welcome back to BioBuddy, and in this video we will be starting with the lecture series for class 11th Animal Kingdom. Right? So Animal Kingdom is chapter number 4 of your NCERT. I'll be writing it all here. Chapter number 4 of your NCERT, very important for NEET point of view because 2 to 3 questions will definitely be there from this chapter in your NEET. So make sure when we are sitting together, I am explaining you the topic, you are listening to me. Make sure you are having a rough paper, a rough notebook with you so that you can note down the important points, and NCERT should be there. Definitely be there. Keep a pencil in handy. Wherever you think this point is important, mark it in your book, put a star. And if you don't see the point that which I am speaking in your book, you can jot down the point in your practice copy or your rough notebook. So let's imagine this term now, Animal Kingdom. What is the meaning? सबसे पहले animal. You can't imagine a single animal when you see this term, animal. Animal से कितने सारे animals आएंगे आपके mind में? So many variety of animals are there. And how many of you are recalling cheetah, leopard, cats, dog, bears, pandas? There are so many animals, right? So there are variety of animals. Large group of animals is there, right? Somehow they are similar to each other, right? Somehow they are similar to each other. How? Because they show locomotion. Locomotion means movement. They show locomotion. They show reproduction. And they show growth. Right? They show these particular features. There are more features, but right now this is not very important. We are just focusing on the briefing of the topic. Right? So what is to be done? Locomotion is done by these animals. Reproduction is also done by these animals. Growth is also done by these animals. And also they take in food. Right? They also take in food. Fine? So food. How do they take in food? The mode is holozoic mode of nutrition. Holozoic means whole, right? Holozoic mode of nutrition. Now, who undergoes this holozoic mode of nutrition? Right? There are two types of organisms. First one is autotrophic. And second one is heterotrophic. This you have been studying from class 7th or 8th. Right? Autotrophic mode of nutrition is shown by the organisms which prepare their own food. And heterotrophic mode of nutrition is shown by the organisms which are dependent on others for their food. Right? So heterotrophs are human beings. Right? We can't prepare our own food. Right? We can't take sunlight, we can't take CO2, and we can't prepare our own food and eat it. Okay? We need to either we are dependent on plants for the food, either we are dependent on other animals for our food. Right? And our mode of nutrition is beta holozoic mode of nutrition. Holo. In biology, the terms are given to you, and very easy to define a particular term by breaking it up into two parts. Here holozoic is broken into two parts, holo and zoic. Holo means complete food or whole food, right? So the complete food, when it is eaten by the organism, it is called as holozoic mode of nutrition. Okay? So these are basically what? These are certain common features which are shown by animals, right? Now there is a question that, ma'am, why do we have to classify animals? ऐसे ही रहने दो सारे animals को. Can't all the animals stay like this? Why are we increasing our work by making classification tables by different features? We are comparing them and we are classifying them. Because there is a diversity. Diversity means there is a variety of animals. There is a huge variety of animals which was found on planet Earth, and now also many of them, they are undiscovered. They have not been discovered yet. So there is a huge variety of animals beta. Right? And if we do not classify them, we won't be able to know the particular features of the organisms. Right? We won't be able to get to know these organisms. So by classification, there are three benefits. Classifying them, will make our task easier, right? It will be less time consuming and we will be able to get a hold of the knowledge of all the animals which are present in the animals kingdom. In the jungles, in the forest, in the Amazon rainforest, there is a variety of animal species which are found. So classification is very, very important. If a question comes that what is the need to classify, you will say that we need to classify the organisms because there is a diversity of organisms, and if we don't classify them, we won't be able to get to know the features of the organisms, right? Our task will be difficult, it will be more time consuming, right? Whereas if we do the classification table, right, हमें classify कर दिया उसको बेटा, it will make our task easy, less time consuming. Fine. So now let's come to animal kingdom, also called as kingdom Animalia. Also known as kingdom Animalia. So kingdom Animalia is also known as metazoans. Metazoans, where meta means multicellular. Where meta means multicellular, right? So kingdom Animalia beta, it is further divided into two sub-kingdoms. So sub-kingdom Parazoa, sub-kingdom Parazoa, and sub-kingdom, yes, you all know it, it is Eumetazoa. Eumetazoa. So this is Parazoa and this is Eumetazoa. There are two sub-kingdoms. One is Parazoa and one is Eumetazoa. So Parazoa beta, I already told you, breaking it into two parts. The first term, अगर आपको किसी भी difficult term का मतलब नहीं समझ में आ रहा, you're not able to get hold of what is the meaning of this term, what do you need to do? You need to break it up into 2-3 parts. And then particularly tell the meaning of each and every part. You will be able to do that. I am telling you, it's very simple. So Parazoa. Para means primitive. Okay. So para here means primitive. Primitive means जो सबसे पहले आए थे. Right? They are the oldest. Primitive. Okay. This means primitive. Okay. And Eumetazoa. Eu means true. Eu means true. So this means true metazoans. Okay? That means they are truly multicellular. But here Parazoa means it is a primitive metazoa. That means what? It is the oldest one. It has very little modifications. It is no modifications at all. Nothing is there. Right? सबसे बेचारे phylums आते हैं बेटा Parazoa में. Okay? सबसे बेचारे phylums why am I saying? Because they have nothing at all. Right? But whereas if we compare the Eumetazoans, they are truly multicellular. Metazoans means they are also known as multicellular organisms. So now the examples. Beta, in this what will come? They only have cells. They only have cells in their body. Example of the phylum which only has cells here will be Porifera. Porifera. Porifera will be coming here as the example in Parazoa. Whereas if I talk about Eumetazoa beta, what will be the examples? They have true multicellulars, right? That means they have tissues, they have organs, they have organ system, right? So which phylums will be coming here? Phylum example will be Coelenterata, Coelenterata, also called as Cnidaria. Ctenophora. Then third one is Platyhelminths. Then fourth one is Nematoda, also called as Aschelminths. Then after that comes Annelida, right? Then comes Arthropoda. Then comes Mollusca. Then comes Echinodermata. After that, Hemichordata. And the last one is Chordata. Okay, so these are given to you in a sequence, right? So you need to understand this. This is the sequence which you need to follow. This Porifera jo hai beta, this is the example of Parazoa, and these two will come after this. Okay, after Echinodermata is Hemichordata and then Chordata. So the examples of Eumetazoans and Metazoans, these are the subkingdoms which are further divided into many phylums. So Parazoa subkingdom is divided into only one phylum, Porifera. It is a primitive one, it is the earliest one, it is only having cells. Whereas Eumetazoans, they are known as the true metazoans, right? That means they have multiple cells. Okay, they have tissues also, they have organs also, they have organ systems also. So they are further divided into phylums. And these phylums, you need to memorize them on the sequence which is given on your board. Similar sequence itself. It will make your job very easy for the entire chapter I am telling you. So the first here is Coelenterata. Coelenterata also called as Cnidaria, then Ctenophora, then Platyhelminths. Right? So this is the sequence you need to follow. The Nematoda, Aschelminths. Right? Then Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca. Then Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. Very simple. You need to memorize this on the basis of this sequence. Because in the further chapter, as we go deep and deep into detail, what will happen? It will eventually make your job easier if you know the sequence. Okay? So the next video we will be starting about why and how the classification happens. On what basis is the classification happening? In this video, we will be stopping here only. So if you have any issues, any problem, any questions regarding this chapter, this video, whatever we have covered up, you have any problem, you can write down in the comments below. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Make sure you are circulating the video as much as possible with your friends, right? And make sure you are writing each and every point. If it is missing from your book, then this will be very, very helpful. So stay tuned guys, and in the next video we will be moving forward with the chapter Animal Kingdom. So till then, take care.